last week, after we talked about black journalists, talked about our local stations here, um, I did get a photo from one, and I won't say from whom, but from a black journalist who was at the convention in Atlanta.
Yeah.
The National Association of Black Journalists. They just held their convention in Atlanta, Georgia, and they sent me a picture of all of these black journalists who were there, who came through Buffalo. And let me say it again, who came through Buffalo. Not in Buffalo, not necessarily. They came through Buffalo. And so I'm not going to belabor the point of what we talked about last week, except for the fact, and this is the wild thing, we didn't set up last week's show knowing what was about to break loose in Atlanta.
Absolutely not.
At the National Association of Black Journalists, and what that basically is black journalists from across the country, if not across the world, who get together. They have workshops, just like a church convention, for black journalists. And there was a lot that went on at the NABJ, and one of them, they had a salute to excellence.
Yes.
But then they had a different one that was not necessarily a salute to excellence, but was almost a thumbs down, I think they call it.
Yeah, it's called the Thumbs Down Award, and this award has been given out since like 1989, I believe. It's supposed to be given out to a black journalist who they feel they want to hold accountable.
So it goes to a black journalist.
Yes.
So it's not an award that could go to any other journalist. Right. It's got to be a black.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Let me get this right. A black organization does a thumbs down.
Yeah.
Let's just unpack that for a minute. To another African American that's in the media and say thumbs down.
Yes.
Now
you got me looking at winners. Hold on.
Okay, like I'm not a part of black journalists. I mean, I'm black, I do, but I'm not a part of the organization. But that sounds interesting.
Yeah, and it is. So this, then you started talking, and I was trying to figure it out. So this year they issued it to a very prominent, people. He's spent his whole career in sports journalism, coming up through Philly and a lot of other places. HBCU grad, so he's big ups to, he lifts up HBCU week and promotes it. Takes his national show on ESPN to historically black colleges throughout the year, and probably one of the largest journalistic personalities out right now, and his name is Stephen A. Smith.
Okay, for those who don't know Stephen A. Smith, who is he?
So Stephen A. Smith, like I said, he's a sports journalist.
Okay.
He made his national platform, joining one of the morning shows on ESPN, kind of in a debate type show. So a back and forth with another journalist or other panelists, and then he became the face of the show. Okay. And he then became the face of ESPN. So he has one of the largest contracts at ESPN. And so here's where the turn came, because, when you're criticizing athletes, nobody's really, it's like par for the course. Par for the course. That's the term. Okay. So in recent years, he decided to launch his own platform because people and execs at ESPN didn't want him taking so many political turns on the network.
Okay.
So he created his own called, I think, a Straight Shooter, whatever. He has a podcast. He's on Sirius XM. So there is where you see a lot more of his political stances and his unadulterated opinions about any topic he wants to talk about.
Okay.
So in recent, and this past year especially, he's been very critical of liberals, but he's also saying, I will say he's also, it's people in general. Because he will say, I'm not a Republican, I'm not Democrat, I'm independent, and I have the same issues with both. But so the NABJ issued the award, and this was their main comment, because he demonstrated a recurring pattern of disparaging commentary towards prominent black women in politics, particularly Jasmine Crockett, sports, and media, and argued that his commentary can reinforce harmful narratives about black women. And that was the reason why, what they gave for giving him the thumbs down award.
So, by the way, there were 4 other recipients.
Okay.
So, number 1 was Stephen A. Smith. Number 2 was CBS News.
Oh, wow.
They included the network among the organizations it believes had engaged in conduct contrary to its goals regarding black journalists, newsroom equity, and journalism's public service mission. Number 3, the Washington Post also received the distinction, raised concerns about practicing affecting journalism and black journalists. Number 4, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr. This one gives you another whole radio, because the NABJs, because I'm definitely reading what is suggested. Criticism extends beyond an individual journalist to the federal government's relationship. And number 5, DeJohn McCoy, the television station owner and media executive, was the 5th 2026 recipient.
Wow. So he's already fired back, and he's fired back because he feels that it's a political and a personal hit job. That's a direct quote from him. And he rejected the suggestion that he has a problem with black women. And, on his show, he talked about the strongest people in his life are black women. His love for his sister, who he talks about all his time, his love for his mom, and so on. And he suggested that the NABJ has its own issues internally that he's been quiet on for years. And his biggest comment was, this is basically one of the first years he didn't go and didn't support it physically. And this was the time that you gave me a thumbs down award.
But he normally goes.
Yes. Last year he took ESPN, his ESPN show First Take. He took it to NABJ and hosted it from there.
So in 2021, they gave thumbs down to University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and his board of directors. And it was around during the controversy, which I don't remember, the surrounding journalist Nicole Jones, creator of the 1619 Project, and the university's handling of tenure for her faculty appointment. In 2020, they gave it to the Cleveland, listen to this, because Buffalo and Cleveland are about the same size.
Right.
Plain Dealer. This one is particularly relevant because black journalists were disappearing from that paper allegedly,
right,
and local television and newspaper.
Oof.
The NABJ said the organization deserves the award because job cuts and other changes. Now, I'm going to say that I think it's, I don't know, black folks going after black folks, I've never been a fan of.
Right.
I don't see any other culture that does that. Like we gonna give a public thumbs down, to somebody we don't agree with,
right?
But that it's I don't know. I'm torn, but I do. Like when I read about, now I don't, and again, I'm not familiar with Cleveland Plain Dealer, but I do kind of support that some national organization somewhere needs to hold newsrooms accountable.
Right.
And because I'm not going to name national organizations that represent people of color, but you don't see a lot of that. You don't see our national organizations taking on this issue. And you know what? I'm at the point where I say whatever, right? You don't see the national NAACP in a big way,
right,
saying, hey, whatever news network, because I think it goes beyond the local, but to the national network, but also to the local network to say, hey, we want to see more people of color that know our neighborhoods, that represent us, or at least know our culture, to be in these conversations. So I ain't totally mad at them dealing, because they also dealt with so here's the deal. 2 Rust Belt cities, Cleveland, and then they gave the Thumb Downs Award to, maybe they were just doing newspapers, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. And they talked about the same things, that they needed improvements in their practices. And so I'm really not mad about that.
So, and I think, because to what you just read, I think there's a difference. And I know there was a couple individuals, but I think if you give the Thumbs Down Award, it shouldn't be attacking necessarily one of our own. Now, you can hold them accountable in the conference and this, that, and the other, but you putting out a public statement, giving a public award to somebody who has a large platform and another black man. Now, if you wanted to go after, like you said, a CNN, a Fox, or whoever, CBS, like you have in the past,
right,
I think that makes sense. You go after the media conglomerate to say we are being unfairly treated. But to go after one person simply because you disagree, or you claim you want to hold him accountable because he's making different statements against black women compared to others, it begs the question: is disagreeing with black women also disrespecting them?
And let's give the disclaimer.
Yes.
We just talking about their process and whatever. Right. Like you said, somebody said, black women, we love you.
We love you.
So we are not, and I want to be clear about this. I don't know enough about, because I don't really, I don't watch sports like that. And so I've seen them on, but I don't think I've ever even looked at a full report. Mm-hmm. So this is just about a process, a system. And I often see us, and no disrespect to that organization, the NABJ, I don't know. I'm just voicing an opinion. At the end of the day, we got conglomerates, like you just said, mm-hmm. that are not doing the job of diversity.
Right.
We've got, I don't know what rating this guy has or anything else, but there's it seemed like we go after the fish and leave the whales.
Right. You didn't go after Scripps for firing.
Come on.
Like we just talked about it last week.
Right.
You didn't do that.
Scripps, yeah. And where's the outrage?
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, and the reason that I bring this stuff up, because even locally, I want people to be aware. I want them to be aware of what they're watching. But I'm dealing with conglomerates. I'm not coming on here and say, I'm talking about this one report. Now, right. I could. Mm-hmm. I definitely could.
I was going to say, we can be that show.
We can be that show and talk about individual reporters, but I gave
yes,
at least one of them in this city some grace. Mm-hmm. So you can have an attitude about our show last week, but I gave you grace.
Yep.
And if anybody wants to push the envelope, I'm all day pushing.
We here for it.
We here for it because I can go back to all your stories. I can go back to stories that you didn't do. I can go back to how you represent people of color, and then we can really have a conversation, and then welcome you to the hood if that's where you want to come visit.